Today we're looking for New York's best burgers in Queens, from an old school bar to a giant patty star and more. I hope you brought your appetites. We're gonna eat. We've got Greg back on the channel, native New Yorker and food guide, and we are starting at an Irish pub. It feels like Ireland today with this mist. Donovan's, and they're synonymous with their burger, right?
Absolutely, they're very famous for their burger, and this is kind of a piece of old school Woodside. Woodside used to be a very Irish neighborhood, 80% back in the 30s. Become more diverse, but Donovan's been a staple ever since the 60s.
All right, I'm hungry. I gotta check this burger out. Let's do it. I feel like we're stepping back in time.
Joe Donovan and his father took over in 1966. I mean, it's a really big part of the community. This is the place everybody wants to meet and hang out.
How did the burger get so famous? I'm curious.
That's Joe Donovan. He has a burger which is, chopped meat, which he puts cuts of steak into, and we never changed it. We just kept going, and it's still being raved as one of the best burgers you could get in the city. And those are his father's boots, a symbol of the Irish hard working and a good look. So we have 3 fireplaces. That's a big help. People love coming in to see that. 10 Salvador Dalis, and they're all signed by. Yeah.
You got like a surpriser in every room here.
That's what I said. There's a story in every room. So
yeah, even look at the clock right there.
Oh, you're right.
So this is our famous Donovan's handcrafted burger, 8-ounce burger, ground beef, chuck steak, and brisket, and other ingredients which gonna keep to ourselves.
If you think it's excruciating waiting for your food sitting at a table, imagine watching it being made and all those smells.
Oh man, the smell of this burger grilling was just intoxicating. I couldn't take it anymore.
Being ranked one of the best burgers in New York, I'm amazed at the simplicity of this.
I am too. I love places like this, and I've had this burger several times. It's been a little while, but definitely comes to mind when I think of some of the best burgers in Queens. This is always high on that list.
The steak fries on the side, looking quite enticing, but you can see the patty is the star of this burger.
Look how juicy this is. The bottom of that bun, you can already see like the burger juices there. That's the first thing that came to mind. Like, when I felt it, I didn't even put anything on. I don't want any ketchup. I just want to taste it just as it is.
All right, let's take a bite.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Wow is the right word. This is a patty-forward burger. It's so juicy, so moist. Like that first bite, I didn't notice anything else but the beef there. And that's exactly what you're looking for out of a burger like this.
Absolutely. Like, the juiciness of that burger is really top notch. You get a little bit of saltiness from the cheese on both layers. He does put it on both sides of the bun. But I really like just the star of the show is the patty. They have other varieties here. You can get bacon, you get egg, you get avocado if you like, but I think the cheeseburger is the way to go just for how juicy and just high quality the patty is.
This is one of those burgers I think you could eat this too quickly if you're not careful.
I'm already on my way. I gotta chill out.
Look at all the juices from the patty that have already seeped out.
I'm gonna use like a dipping for my fries.
A little ketchup, a little burger juice. Don't sleep on the steak fries either.
Oh, it's real potatoes. These are not frozen. These are definitely handmade. And that's the thing what I really appreciate about Donovan. I've been here before.
On this channel, we've had lots of different burgers, lots of different foods that are so full of flavor and so full of different ingredients. And hint, hint, that is coming later on. We are gonna show you more of that. But something like this, it's just a throwback to the classic burger. He said it's not really changed.
No, I didn't even realize. I've been here several times. I didn't even realize there was other rooms on the other side. I think I've only made it to this part of the dining room.
I'm gonna say, this is the coziest pub I've ever been to. Maybe not just in New York City, but in my entire life. I've been to some pubs in Ireland, and I was telling Jimmy, the owner, I completely get that vibe here. They nailed it 100%, even with the fireplaces in the winter. Only thing missing right now, if we didn't have more places to visit, a Guinness. Perfection.
Any situation is a great spot. If you want to just have a beer and burger at the bar, you can do that too.
If you're an art collector, go check out their Salvador Dali collection in the other room. I completely did not see the surrealist thing coming. And it's amazing because we talked about it as we walked in, how this neighborhood used to be super Irish. Not a ton of Irish pubs left in New York. Tend to see them more Midtown Manhattan. That's a spot that has it. But to get a burger this good and step back in time into a cozy pub, that's like the ultimate experience for me.
Keep a place alive like this is very important to the community because you don't know really what you have till it's gone, and they recognize that.
Now I understand why the owner said, we have so much great food here, shepherd's pie, salmon's amazing, but everybody keeps ordering the burger because it's difficult to want to order anything else.
When I really crave a burger, just like a classic no frills burger here in Queens, I will come here.
3 types of beef in this.
Chuck steak, brisket, ground beef.
It's a lot bigger than I expected too.
It is, it's huge. It's like 2 hockey pucks or something.
Yeah. If this was a ratings channel, which we are not, I think I'd give this a 10 out of 10.
You really get like a nice baseline of what a classic burger is supposed to taste like. And I'm gonna show you some interesting stuff later.
Greg, from Irish to Dominican Chimitos here, and I don't know, this looks straight out of Miami Beach.
Yeah, I do love the neon signage. So Corona here does have a pretty big Dominican community. Now, Chimis usually find on the streets at trucks.
This one's special. I'm excited to see it.
Your first time,
First
Chimi,
time,
right?
first Chimi.
My name is Max Pina. I'm the owner of Chimito, operating since 2022. I only started with the Chimis. This is the only place, I believe, in Dominican Republic or in United States that is dedicated to elaborate the chimis. It's our national Dominican sandwich. We have 10 different ones. It doesn't matter your nationality because the sandwich is so flavorful, you're gonna love it. The real name is chimichurri. Argentinian immigrants were living in Dominican Republic. They wanna make extra money. Start making choripan, Argentinian chorizo. They asked you want chimichurri sauce? The other guy say, I don't wanna do the same thing, I wanna do burgers. But they didn't have no money, to buy burger buns and the meat, which they went like this. They open as a patty. We're using the green tomato, the white onion, and the cabbage, and a lot of pink sauce. But at the end, he used to ask, you want me to put chimichurri? We never call the sandwich burger. We call it chimichurri. It became the national Dominican sandwich.
So this is a mix, you said, of pork and beef?
Yes, otherwise you won't get the texture.
Yeah.
But this is the original, this is it. This is the most similar to the pan de agua. It's a Portuguese crunch in the top, go through the toast, it gets crunchy, it have to be crunchy. As a Caribbean, we like everything a little burnt. Beautiful green tomatoes that you're only gonna find it on Chimitos, shredded cabbage. The main ingredients, ketchup and mayo, otherwise it won't taste the same.
Is that mustard?
Yes, that sauce.
So Greg with a little bit of a curveball here. Instead of your traditional American burger, we're going with a chimi. And I loved hearing Max tell us like the whole story, how this is most famous food out of the Dominican Republic. And I'm ashamed to say I've actually never tried it before.
You're in for a treat, I'll tell you that.
You could spend so many years living in New York and try something new every single day. And you just saw all the crazy amount of ingredients smothered in ketchup and mayo and cabbage and
the green tomato stands out too.
The green tomato.
And I love the bread. That's really what stands out too. Obviously burgers, sandwiches, bread's also very important. You can tell here it's got a nice like crunch to it. I can already feel it.
Down this. I've never had this before. You know, with a lot of burgers, it's just about the meat, but this is about the entire bite in one, getting all those flavors together. Ketchup and mayo really hitting me hard up top. Tasty patty at the bottom, the chorizo, half pork, half beef. Like, where has this been my whole life?
Yeah, I love the whole package. I love the crunchiness you get out of that cabbage. It kind of like lightens it up a little bit too, right? It's not as heavy as you might think. You think mayo can be a little heavy, not so much. And the bread, I love the bread. I love good bread on any sandwich. Basically 2 layers of crunch, the bread, and then you get the cabbage in it too. And then you get that green tomato, which is like an interesting curveball there.
And what's incredible is if you don't want the traditional chimi, you could get vegetarian options. They have 10 different varieties here. He thinks the only spot in the US that just specializes in this one sandwich, which we are putting into the burger video. Max was telling us, putting it through the toaster, getting it nice and crunchy. Man, the sauces just work well together. And he was saying in the DR that you let all the ingredients fall into the plastic bag and then you scoop it up after with a spoon. We might have to try that after.
I don't know about the spoon, I'm gonna try with
There's gonna be some good stuff underneath.
You'll be making a mess, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that hot sauce and mustard there too. You taste it, it's very subtle. It detracts a little bit from the sweetness, which is nice.
You know, he was telling me that late night is the most popular time here. I am not surprised. Like if you went out for the night, imagine finishing it off with this.
I think that's the only time I've ever had this a bit late night.
Yeah.
It's probably the earliest time of day I've ever had a chimi in my life.
But many people who are not from New York may not realize is that the #1 group of immigrants in the New York City area are from the Dominican Republic. But you don't just have to go to, let's say, Washington Heights to find good Dominican food. You can come here to Corona.
Yeah, there's a lot of good spots here in Corona for Dominican food. I'm glad this is like a specialized place for chimis. And it's a really cool little little hole in the wall spot. You can also go down the block later and get a lemon ice kick from Lemon Ice Kick Corona.
It's like every bite is a different experience. Like you're getting something else. Like some bites I'm getting more of the ketchup mayo, some bites I'm getting more of the chorizo. I don't say that too often. This is very fun to eat. And it's not like unmanageable. You have the bag catching everything, which I like.
I think that's crucial.
It is crucial. I don't know how you would eat this with just like a paper plate. No, you need this bag.
It's gonna drip down your arm.
Oh yeah, I could not recommend this highly enough. I need a napkin really badly too.
Yeah, that's the point.
You know, I'm also ashamed to admit the last time I was in the DR, I was at an all-inclusive resort, and they definitely did not have this on the menu. Next time I'm going outside and getting some street food. You already smashed it, wow.
It's been a long time, it takes me back. But like, this is a little different though, I like it.
So you got a Avena with lime, we got fresh Hugo here.
It's funny because it looks like coconut.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that was coconut,
Yeah.
and I got tamarind. I mean, spending a lot of time in Mexico, I'm used to just fresh juices all the time, so let's try this.
That's good. You know what? It almost tastes like a pina colada, but like oatmeal pina colada in a way. But not even, I think the oat doesn't taste too strong. It really tastes like a pina colada.
Do you think Dominican food in New York gets enough love from people who aren't Latino?
Probably not. I think it's pretty underrated. Like, I have a favorite place I like to go to. It's like a corner store, steam table place. They make really good arroz moro, like rice and beans mixed together.
Yeah.
Usually I get some either pernil or some like stewed goat, stewed chivo. Like, even there's a really good place out on Rockaway Beach that's Bourdain went to that's really good for Dominican food that's open all the time.
I've been sleeping on Dominican food way too long. Yeah, I admit it. I admit it. If you're enjoying this off the Eaten Path adventure and you want Greg to guide you, consider taking his food tour. It is super popular. Link down below in the description. It will be the highlight of your trip to New York, trust me.
Yeah, come join me. Love to have you here.
All right, from the Dominican Republic, we're going for a Colombian burger at Prontito. And this could be one of the most unique burgers many of the viewers and myself have ever seen.
One of the most unique, one of the heaviest, and one of the most extravagant burgers you will ever see. This place is very famous for it.
I have a little appetite left. I think let's see if we can handle this. All right, this spot's cool.
I mean, you got the cool mural on the back. So this is a very popular Colombian fast food spot here in Queens. Very packed here in the summertime, especially because I have over here Shave Ice Station, Cholados. But we're here for something else.
Something a little extreme.
A little bit is understatement. Hola. Arepa burger? Gracias.
That's a sight for sore eyes right there.
Wow.
I don't know how we're gonna eat that, but we're gonna try. Surgical procedure to split this thing up, okay? That's the first thing you see. They're famous arepa burger. I want you to break this down for us.
The funny thing, actually the arepa burger is like a rendition of their more famous Prontito burger. So it's really one of the most excessive burgers like I've ever seen before. Definitely a late night special after drinking. This is probably the definition of drunk food. But you got your burger patty, you have tons of bacon here, you have cheese, you have mayo ketchup, you have pineapple sauce, crushed potato chips, how crazy is that? And there's actually a quail egg impaled on the top of this thing. That's the craziest part. So you have to take it out first so you don't stab yourself in the mouth with a toothpick.
That would be a beginner's mistake to try to bite the quail egg from the top there. I'm trying to grab the bottom here with the arepa.
Yeah, and they put another toothpick in here to keep it together because there is no non-sloppy way, there's no graceful way to eat this burger. You just gotta try to hang on for dear life. Basically the big difference here, instead of their classic Prontito burgers, they actually use, instead of buns, you have arepas. So if you don't know about arepas, they're corn cakes. I love what it adds to this burger. Let's do it.
We're getting messy. I don't know what I just bit, but I bit a lot of it. Ooh.
I think what really stands out on first bite is that smoky bacon.
Yeah.
That smokiness really hits you right away. Yeah, you get the crunchiness of the crushed potato chips in there. You have all those sauces. You're gonna end up with sauce all over your mouth, but that's okay. I love the sweetness of the corn in that arepa. The arepa is really cool. It's maybe not the sturdiest vehicle for this burger, but I love the flavor it adds to it. I neglect to mention, there's also ham in here.
What's not in this thing? Three different types of meat going on. And I love the arepa. It is difficult because it's falling apart. I'm gonna have to eat this in like different steps. But the beef is tremendous. And all of those sauces together, it's just like a flavor explosion you're not soon gonna forget.
There's also some grilled onions on here too, which adds a nice like subtle sweetness and nice crunch to it too. Just falling apart.
As you said, I'm holding on for dear life here. And the amazing thing about the city is that you have every type of burger imaginable. From like fast food spots, to classic pub burgers, to Dominican burgers, even eating a chimi. What can't you find in New York? That's what I gotta ask.
I'll say that these types of burgers have become more and more popular in the neighborhood. You know, this is Elmhurst, also Jackson Heights is just a few steps away. So there's a huge Colombian community here and has been for many years. And I've really just seen the rise of these extravagant burgers, especially at night. You know, if you walk down Roosevelt Avenue or Northern Boulevard at night, there's a lot of bars and clubs. You have even burger trucks that set up outside. So this is not something that you eat only when you're drunk and it tastes good. It tastes good sober, I'll tell you that.
A lot of tastes going on. Mine fell into like 3 different pieces. I don't know how Greg kept that together. I think that's from a lot of experience.
Barely.
Explosion of meat, that's it.
It's also interesting, they do put a little bit of pineapple sauce in here, so it gives it another little bit of sweetness in there from that.
I just noticed the pineapple right now. It's funny you mentioned that.
So a burger with this many ingredients, you kind of have to keep eating it to discover some of the other ingredients and like taste them.
Even though It is difficult to keep all this food together with an arepa. I think if you're feeling adventurous, this is the way to go.
So it also gives it, I think, even more of like a Colombian twist, because arepa is very popular in Colombian cuisine, so you add this in instead of a burger bun.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to diversify.
I mean, you could order it just as a regular burger if you want.
You could, yeah.
Yeah.
You could. We just did it with the arepa, just kind of differentiate and give it a different flavor, but...
This reminds me of Brennan and Carr, the roast beef sandwich that's like dipped in everything, and they call it the fork and knife job. That's what we're doing here. Double fried fries, Greg was saying, very crispy, much different than the fries we had at Donovan's, which were your typical steak fries. Apple flavored soda, Postamon.
Yeah, Postamon's a very classic Colombian soda. One of the most popular. You know, you have a few different types of Colombian sodas you can get here. I haven't had this in many years. My first time having it in a long time.
They could have made this video a lot more traditional, but I'm glad that you didn't do that.
No, that's the last thing. For Queens, I can't just keep it only traditional, only simple. As much as I appreciate simplicity and like well-made burgers, I'm glad we did include one of those in this video. Like, I do like to show just some of the international flair that Queens has to offer, because we're the most diverse borough in New York, and one of the most diverse areas in the whole world.
Bring a big appetite, bring a little adventure, and have some fun. Now that you know about Queens' best burger spots, you might be curious about Manhattan, and in this video we show you some mouth-watering spots you don't want to miss. Head here next.